Hello grade 4 learners, how are you? Today we are going to start with a new lesson, which is lesson 2, and in this lesson we are going to learn about division, where we are going to have a 0 in the quotient. First of all, I'm going to remind you of the steps of division. So first you have to divide, then you have to multiply, then subtract, and finally bring down, and then you repeat the steps all over again. So suppose that we have to divide 807 by 2. So the first thing, we take the first digit, which is 8, and we compare it with 2. So 8 is greater than 2, so we can take alone. Now 8 divided by 2, it's 4. Now after dividing, we have to multiply. 2 times 4, it's 8. Now we subtract. 8 minus 8 is 0, and now you have to bring down the 0. So now what do we have? We have 0. 0 divided by 2, it's 0. So now we'll have a 0 in the quotient. 2 times 0, it's 0. We subtract. 0 minus 0, it's of course 0. And then we bring down the 7, and we start all over again. 7 divided by 2, it's 3. So 2 times 3, it's 6. 7 minus 6, it's 1. So 807 divided by 2, it's 403, with a remainder 1. Now we're going to learn some tricks in division. Suppose you have 6,300 divided by 70. So we have 6,300 divided by 70. You have to know that sometimes if you have 0 in the divisor and 0 in the dividend, you can cross them out. A 0 from the divisor and a 0 from the dividend. What's left now is 630 divided by 7. So we are going to divide 630 divided by 7. So as we learned, 630 divided by 7. Of course, I'm going to take the 63 because 6 is smaller than 7. So now 7 times 9, it's 63. We subtract. What's left is 0. So we bring down the 0. 0 divided by 7, it's 0. So 7 times 0, it's 0. And you subtract. So it's 90. The quotient is 90. And we have a 0 in the quotient. So what you have learned today in this lecture, that if you have a 0 in the dividend, you just bring it down and then you put a 0 in the quotient. So that's what you have learned, and you shouldn't find it hard because you know, or you have already studied the multiplication table where you have 0. So 0 times any number, it's going to be 0. So you can put 0 in the quotient. Let us do some exercises in order to understand them more. So suppose you have 43 divided by 4. So I can take the 4 alone. 4 times 1, it's 4. We subtract, it's 0. Now we bring down the 3. 3 divided by 4, it's impossible. So we put a 0 in the quotient. 4 times 0, it's 0. And we subtract, that's it. Also 65 divided by 6. I'm going to take the 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 6 times 1, it's 6. And you subtract. Then you bring down the 5. Now 5 divided by 6, it's impossible because 5 it's less than 6. So we put a 0. 6 times 0 is 0. And we subtract. And the remainder is 5. Now we have 93 divided by 3. Of course, I'm going to take the 9. 9 divided by 3, it's 3. So 3 times 3, it's 9, sorry. And 9 minus 9 is 0. Now you bring down the 3. 3 divided by 3, it works out, so it's 1. 3 times 1, it's 3. And you subtract, and that's a 0. Now we have 4,406 divided by 4. So first I'm going to take the 4. 4 times 1, it's 4. We subtract, this is 0. Bring down the 4. 4 divided by 4, it's also 1. You subtract, this is a 0. And here you have 0. 0 divided by 4, you directly put a 0 in the quotient. 4 times 0, it's 0. You subtract, and then you bring down the last digit, which is 6. 6 divided by 4, it's 1. 1 times 4, it's 4. You subtract, and that's a 2. Let us continue. Now we have 917 divided by 9. So we take the 9. 9 times 1, it's 9. You subtract. This is a 0. You bring down the 1. 1 divided by 9, it's impossible. So we put a 0 in the quotient. 9 times 0 is 0, and we subtract, that's a 1. And here we bring down the 7. Now we have 17. 17 divided by 9, it's 1. 1 times 9, it's 9. Don't forget that we do this mentally. So 17 minus 9, it's 8. Now we have 6,363 divided by 6. So I'm going to take the 6. 6 times 1 is 6. And we subtract, it's 0. Now we bring down the 3. We have only 3. 3 divided by 6, it's impossible. So we put a 0. 6 times 0, it's 0. And we subtract, that's a 3. Now we bring down the 6. We have 36 divided by 6. It's 6. 6 times 6, it's 36. And you subtract. Now we bring down the 3. 3 divided by 6, it's impossible. So we put a 0 in the quotient. And the remainder is 3. Now let us solve some problems. I always advise you, if you solve this alone, then you can check your answer. So pause the video, try to solve them, then check your answers when I solve them. So a farmer arranged 943 eggs in boxes of 7 eggs each. So in every box they put 7 eggs. And we have in a total 943 eggs. So 943 eggs, it actually represents the dividend. And 7 represents the divisor. So I need to divide 943 by 7. So let us do it. 943 divided by 7. So we take the 9. 9 divided by 7, it's 1. So 7 times 1, it's 7. We subtract. It's 2. We bring down the 4. 24 divided by 7, it's 3. 3 times 7, it's 21. We subtract, that's another 3. So we bring down the 3. 33 divided by 7, it's 7 times 4, which is 28. We subtract, the remainder is 5. So how many boxes did the farmer fill completely? The farmer filled 134 boxes. So we take the quotient, which is the answer. Okay? Now let us do the second problem. A cyclist covered 216 kilometers in 6 hours. What was the distance covered in 1 hour? So I need to divide 216 by 6. Let us do it. It's 216 by 6. So I'm going to take the 21 because 2 is less than 6. So it's 6 times 3, 18. 21 minus 18, do it mentally. It's 3. And now we bring down the 6, we have 36. 36 divided by 6, it's 6. And the remainder is 0. So the cyclist covered 36 kilometers in 1 hour. That's it. Okay, so I wish you understand everything in this video. If you still have any question, don't forget that we're going to explain it again in the live session. So keep your questions to the live session. Okay.